I'm good. All the way across. Hello, hello. The wheel is ready for a spin. Time for New Day Hot Topics on today's panel. Welcome back two of my very favorite people, Seattle authors and terrific women, Geraldine DeRuiter and Andrea Dunlop. It's so good to have you here. I've been looking forward to this, and we have Bloody Marys, but one of us is pregnant over here, and so she's having a Virgin Mary just in case.
We put the vodka for mine and Geraldine.
Woo!
So everyone
That's
get ready.
what I'd like to hear. And so just a quick cheers. New Day Hot Topics goes crazy.
Right?
Between the hormones and the vodka, we're just wild cards today.
Yeah, and
It's afternoon somewhere.
So we're going to start with the thing everybody's talked about yesterday, and you may be sick of it, but the Yanny Laurel thing. Everybody's heard this, right? Have you heard this, Geraldine?
I have, and it's obviously Yanny.
Okay, we found out a really devastating fact that might really affect our friendship, which is that she's a Yanny and I'm a Laurel.
Well,
so I don't really know where we go from here.
I think you just accept and move forward. No, she's shaking her head. No, I do not accept.
Friendship over strategy at this
well,
point.
let's listen to it. Has anybody not heard this? Let's listen.
Laurel.
Yanny.
Laurel.
Yanny.
Laurel.
Laurel.
Yanny.
Laurel.
Laurel.
Okay, here's the weird
Laurel.
thing. Can I just tell you this?
Laurel.
Yesterday, all I could hear was Laurel. Last night, I listened to it about 100 times. And, I mean, yesterday, I could just hear Yanny. Last night, I could hear Laurel. And today, it sounds like Yanny to me again.
Because it is Yanny, and here's the thing. Someone told me, and I don't think this is true, they told me that younger people hear Yanny, and I'm older than Andrea, and I hear Yanny, and so I'm afraid to keep listening in case it turns to
Switches?
Laurel. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm holding on to, like, don't take this
I don't
from
want to
me.
bust your bubble, but the actual thing that's being said is Laurel. Yeah, it is.
Oh, so you're just wrong, actually. Because young people are often wrong about things. That's why. There you go. As you, with wisdom comes Laurel.
There is an explanation. There was a kid who recorded this. There was some background noise. It went viral. He recorded it for a website about pronunciation. Can't remember which one it was. So it went viral because different people heard different things, and it has to do with how much register you can hear. You can hear a higher register, so can I. That's why we're hearing Yanny, and we're not hearing Laurel. She's got her arms crossed. She is not buying what I am laying down at all. There's some science to this, but isn't that weird? And it sort of speaks to what happens when two people look at the same thing and see something totally different, and you just go, no, you're wrong. I just can't get it.
Where else does that happen a lot in our culture right now? It's nice, though, to argue about something where there are literally no stakes.
Yes, and nobody's going to be...
There's a lot at stake here.
Except maybe for Geraldine.
But it was like the blue and white dress.
Yeah.
Now, what did you think about that? What color was the dress?
Oh, God, it switched for me. That one, it switched for me. Yeah, so I first saw it, and I thought it was white and gold, and then all of a sudden it switched, and I started screaming.
It's very weird. Was it blue or white for you?
I think it was blue.
Yeah.
And in both cases, my husband and I disagreed completely. And he asked me about 3 times last night, are you kidding me? You're hearing Yanny. And I'm like, yes, I'm hearing Yanny.
It's because it's what they're saying.
All right. Agree to disagree, Geraldine. We'll see if we're friends next time we come on here together.
There's no stakes. Stop with that. I don't have a say what. Let's go to, okay, let's talk about this. Oh, wait, I do have a say what. Roman Polanski has...
I need some more.
Here, Geraldine, give me yours.
I need to drink on behalf of me
finally
and
kicked
Andrea.
out of the Oscars organization along with
Cosby.
Cosby. And Harvey Weinstein got thrown out too, right? So we have them all out. I mean, come on. It's just, and so Roman Polanski is now suing them for, I know. What is there even to say? And he's been so snotty about this. I'm like, dude, you were convicted. You were convicted of raping a young girl.
Right. Yeah. Right. And I think this is a great example, actually, of when someone's had a tremendous amount of privilege for a really long time, they just lose any sense of proportion. Like, he was comparing the Me Too movement to the French Revolution. So I think, like, you know, that's a good sign that you really
can figure that they're a victim no matter what the circumstances are.
And I think any level of accountability feels like victim hood to these men.
You know, a very smart author came on this show and talked about what you do with privilege when you find yourself in a moment where you have an advantage, a natural advantage that somebody else doesn't have. You use that moment to open the door for them. And this is the opposite of that. And I'm so done with him. I'm done with him.
You know, he said that he's mad because they're not adhering to California law. And it's like, hey, if you have a problem, why don't you come back to the States? And we'll discuss it.
Put you behind bars and you can work on it.
Speaking of the law.
I don't mean to be harsh, but
yeah, I think we can be harsh.
Yeah, let's be harsh. The other Washington. So this was very interesting. There was a Town and Country magazine event to which Monica Lewinsky was invited, and when it was an annual philanthropic summit. Bill Clinton turned out to be attending, and so they uninvited Monica Lewinsky.
So I saw the original Monica Lewinsky subtweet when she said sort of, "Dear world, if you're going to invite me to an event." She said,
"Dear world, please don't invite me to an event, especially one about social change. And then after I've accepted, uninvite me," because Bill Clinton then decided to attend / was invited. It's 2018. Emily Post would definitely not approve, me.
Yeah, and I was horrified to find out that it was Town and Country, because I was like, you guys are supposed to be classy, come on. And I mean, I would 1,000 times rather hear Monica Lewinsky speak than Bill Clinton. That's just for me, but I don't know why he's gotten such a pass. But the whole thing is just sort of horrifying, especially at this moment.
And she handles all of it with such grace. Like every awkward social interaction I have, I constantly think like, man, Monica deals with so much other stuff and just handles it like a pro. And it makes it seem like when I see someone's dog and I recoil in horror because it's ugly, I'm like, man, Monica handles everything so much better than me.
Stop doing that.
Like she does, just does. Like, oh, did I confuse your spouse with your child? Monica handles everything better.
Well, she's become an advocate for you know, not shaming people, anti-bullying, and I think
her TED Talk was amazing.
Her TED Talk was amazing. And you're right. I mean, times have changed. I think what we would do now with a Bill Clinton situation, no matter how much you like or dislike him, would be different than what we did, you know, in the 90s.
And yet we seem to have no hindsight on it. It's like we managed to somehow talk about Monica Lewinsky in a different light without talking about him in a different light, which just seems really lopsided to me.
We don't even call it an affair. Have you noticed that? Like the terminology around it is not an affair. It's more one-sided than that. It's something that skews to Monica and just completely not on him at all.
Right.
Yeah.
If this were my daughter and she were interning at the White House, well, I'd be in jail now because something terrible would have happened as a result of this.
She was 23.
Yeah, and that's old enough, obviously, to consent and to make a choice, but the power differential here is so severe that you just can't ignore that. You can't ignore it.
27 years older than her and literally the most powerful man in the world. So then what does consent mean when you have a differential like that?
It's pretty skewed.
Yeah. Rose McGowan was here a couple of days ago, and after reading her book, gosh, I don't even know where to begin. I had an actual physical reaction to her book because it is so true, and there's so much that comes out of you that you have kind of stored away as not a big deal that turns out it is a big deal. And then you try to sort of keep yourself from feeling like you'd like to burn the whole thing down and pull it back and try to be constructive. And you are doing some sort of study now with trolls on the, and a couple of times I've almost jumped right in the middle of that. I've had to get off Twitter because I was about to, you know, go crazy on somebody who was bothering you, pestering you, as they used to say.
I mean, I for one would like to see that if you want to do that.
I might. I'll have to have like an alter ego Twitter and then get in there. Why are you doing this?
So I'm
going to have some more Bloody Mary.
Please. I'm doing a talk and potentially a book project that's going to be around how women navigate abuse online. And one of the things I'm doing is talking to men who are incredibly abusive to women online, and a lot of them are directly abusive to me. And one of the things I keep asking is, what's your goal here and why are you doing this? And the number of them that crumble under that conversation is shocking. And one of the things I repeatedly ask them is, do you think that online abuse is verbal abuse? And they repeatedly tell me, no, it's not. And abusers who do this online don't think it is, but the impact for victims is that we absolutely do react the same way we would to verbal abuse in person.
Register that threat.
Yes.
And if you could just change places. I have a theory that I'll share with you off the air about this, but would you guys please come back and always do Hot Topics with
Yes.
us? And you need to come back and just tell us about this project because
Can we have Bloody Marys?
Yeah, we can have.
I can't have
Just get the
whatever
vodka
you want.
out
As a
here
matter
just
of
by
fact,
itself.
While you were talking, I was having a pretty long draw on that straw.
This is very strong. We need to have a talk with Joseph.
That's how we roll here. We pride ourselves on our generous pour.
Right.
Thank you
Dave
both.
doesn't mess around.
We do not. Thank you both. Still ahead, we're going to meet the young Federal Way City Council member who's shaking up city politics. We'll be right back after we take a big sip.